California Governor Gavin Newsom signs legislation requiring the state's public universities to provide abortion pills on campus. Senate Bill 24 requires the University of California and California State University systems to offer students chemical abortions in student health centers. The California legislature previously passed this bill in 2018, but former California Governor Jerry Brown declined to sign it into law. The new California law will go into effect in 2023. Joining us now from Los Angeles, California is Lila Rose, founder and president of Live Action. Lila, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Lila, what is your message to your governor, Gavin Newsom, about this bill?
It's an incredible shame. It will endanger not just teens and young girls on college campuses, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, but it's going to lead to the deaths of children. And these are going to be abortions in dormitories. I mean, young girls on college campuses where they are not equipped to care for early pregnancy, handing out RU4060 abortion pill. These girls will then be self-aborting in their dormitories. They're told don't look at the baby once the baby is miscarried into a toilet, and they don't have follow-up care. They're not equipped for this. So it is a shame against both women's health. Abortion is not women's health, and this is actually dangerous for them. And it's a shame against basic human dignity, against the children that will be killed on college campuses. And also, the governor is forcing college administrators, college health staff to comply with becoming part of the abortion industry, to actually become abortion providers on campuses. So on a number of levels, it is a shame, and we hope, and we're working along with other groups to make sure that this law never does go into effect.
Well, who is pushing this legislation? Where did this come from?
So Planned Parenthood, unfortunately, and the abortion industry is very powerful in the state of California. You have a lot of pro-abortion ideologues. You have the supermajority in both the state assembly, the legislature, and then, of course, now Governor Gavin Newsom. He made it a promise during his campaign to do this for the abortion industry. This is trying to mainstream abortion even onto college campuses, despite the fact that there are abortion facilities within 5 to 10 miles of every public university in the state. So it's not that there's a lack of abortion. They're just trying to push even more abortion on students and send the message to students that somehow abortion is going to be the right solution to any challenges that they're facing if they do get pregnant, which is the completely wrong message. It's an insulting message to send to young women. So there's a huge, powerful abortion industry, and that's why it's so important that we fight back against it, because they are now putting not just preborn children at risk, but women and girls.
Exactly. And who is funding this law? Are taxpayers going to be on the hook for it?
The way the bill is, or the law is designed right now, is that the state of California supposedly has to raise $10 million by 2023 from private funds in order to pay for these abortions and the supposed infrastructure for them. The reality is, though, the state of California does, through Medi-Cal, already pay for abortions. So they can be pulling on state funds, on taxpayer funds, to fund first trimester abortions, second, and even third trimester abortions. So I think the pathway here for direct funding through college campuses for abortion is going to open up. And their goal of $10 million to raise for over 30 public universities. Keep in mind, you need to provide an ultrasound for a girl in the first trimester. There needs to be steps to ensure that this is not what's called an ectopic pregnancy, that the baby is actually in the uterus as opposed to in the fallopian tubes, because the abortion pill for 10 to 30% of girls afterwards, they're going to have to actually go and get care after an abortion pill because it doesn't actually achieve an abortion. So there's a lot of other steps here, and I think that the money claims that they have in the law are really underestimated, and taxpayers will eventually be on the hook for this.
And California is the first state to enact a law like this. Do you think that other states are going to follow?
We're hopeful that no, other states will not follow that. If we fight back hard enough against this law and against conscience protections for healthcare workers on college campuses, that this law will not become mainstreamed across the country. But California really is trying to be an example for the rest of the country, to be more pro-abortion and have this on college campuses. So we have to fight back to keep it, not just keep it restricted to California, but stop this law from going into effect.
And so what are some ways then that pro-lifers can combat this new law and respond to it? And not only that, but how can we help pregnant and parenting students on and off campus?
So first of all, conscience protections are really important. The California Supreme Court has already ruled that healthcare workers have rights to their conscience. And so anybody working on a college campus should not be forced to comply. So that's one legal angle that's important to explore. As far as healthcare resources and supporting pregnant students on campuses, there are hundreds of pregnancy resource centers across the state of California that are eager to help girls. I'd like to see legislation that connects those girls to those pregnancy centers, because right now, campuses that have healthcare centers are not connecting those girls to those resources. Instead, with this law, they would be pushing the abortion pill.
Lila Rose, founder and president of Live Action, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Prudence Robertson, a communications associate for the Susan B. Anthony List, joins us now in studio. Prudence, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Can you speak to some of the dangers of the abortion pill?
Sure, absolutely. So this pill is being marketed as the safe, easy, and near painless way to get an abortion. But in reality, women are being given this drug and then left to deal with the consequences and the severe side effects all on their own. After the abortion pill aborts the baby in the womb, the mother is left literally alone to pass her dead child. And I just can't imagine, being a young woman myself, the severe psychological, emotional, and physical trauma that woman must be going through. And in her own home. And in the case of young college girls in their dorm rooms, it just, it doesn't make sense to me. And the FDA has told us that over thousands of women have undergone severe side effects such as infection and severe bleeding. And at least 24 women that we know of have died after taking the abortion pill. And that's 24 women too many.
It is, absolutely. And are campuses equipped to deal with these adverse side effects that happen as a result of taking the abortion pill, sometimes in their own dorm rooms?
No, they're really not. I mean, Donna Harrison, a CLI scholar, has told us that 1 in 20 of these women are rushed to the emergency room after taking the pill because it's failed. And, that just goes to show that these universities are not equipped to take care of these women when they're producing this drug en masse. And women are going to be in severe and imminent danger if it continues to be produced in this way.
Prudence, you recently graduated from college not that long ago, so when we're talking about the abortion pill on campus, we're talking about your peers. Mm-hmm. What would you like your peers to know about the abortion pill?
That it could literally kill them. I mean, it's dangerous, and it's not what the abortion industry is telling you it is. It is not the safe, easy, and painless way to have an abortion. They're telling women that they take this pill and they're not pregnant anymore, but that's just not true. It will cause you to go into labor and you will give birth to a dead baby. And I just, thinking back to my recent years in college, would never want any of my friends or anyone that's my age to go through anything like that. And I think it's just so important that they know that we're there for them as the pro-life movement, and that there are so many other options than choosing abortion.
And we've seen that California is the first state to propose this legislation and even to go as far as signing it into law. Mm-hmm. Do you think other states are going to follow suit as well?
Well, there are some states that are extreme on abortion that have attempted to pass legislation like this, such as Illinois and Massachusetts. But across the nation, we've been seeing more pro-life laws being passed than ever before. I mean, just this year, 60 pro-life laws have been enacted, which is great to hear. And, that's very encouraging and motivating to us in the pro-life movement. And it just goes to show that what's going on in California is extreme. And former Governor Brown in California actually vetoed this legislation, and he was a pro-choice Democrat. He saw that this law was unnecessary. But Governor Newsom, now that he is in office, he's an abortion extremist, and he's the one who signed the bill into law. And that just goes to show that elections on the national and the state level have consequences, especially with the abortion issue.
Absolutely. And so then what would you say to legislators who are considering proposing legislation like this?
I mean, just it's not what Americans want. It's not what women want, and it's putting women in danger. It's putting children in danger, and it's not something that should be supported, because ultimately it's going to result in a lot of women being hurt.
So then what can the pro-life movement do to respond to this law, maybe to prevent the law from appearing in other states as well? Mm-hmm. What can we do to make a difference?
Well, we all have college students in our lives, and I think the most important thing as pro-life people, in their lives is to have a presence and to be there for them when they find themselves in an unplanned pregnancy and they don't know what to do. These women often choose abortion because they're scared, they're lonely, and they think that they have no other choice. But there are lots of resources that are available to them that will help them to choose life. Students for Life has a fantastic initiative called Pregnant on Campus that provides lots of information about what's available to women who are pregnant on campus or parenting on campus. And there are other great resources like abortiondrugfacts.org and getyourcare.com that not only reveal the danger and, the terrible aspects of the abortion pill, but also promote life and help women know and learn that there are so many options and that, we're here to help them. We're here to help them choose life.
Amen. Well, Prudence Robertson, Communications Associate for the Susan B. Anthony List, thank you so much for being here today to share your wisdom and your insight with us.
Thanks a lot.